Now, when I started doing DoorDash, I had an idea in my mind. I didn't know how accurate it would be, but the idea in my mind that I definitely should not take any orders that was less than $1 a mile. At that time, I hadn't watched anybody else's videos to get any idea of what was a good running number and what wasn't. I was going based off information through my experience in my life, and most of that has been several years ago. Now, since then, I've learned that it's more like $1.50 to $2 is per mile is what you really shouldn't accept, because it's just not worth the wear and tear on your vehicle, the gas. Not to mention if you have to run up and down stairs at apartments, or be chased by dogs, or if you trip and fall, if you twist your ankle, any of those things, you just don't know if somebody decides to hit you from behind at the red light. You never know. But for this video, I'm going to explain to you why it is that I declined this order that was for $7.25 to go 9 miles. Okay? Let's get it. Now, believe it or not, it wasn't just for the fact of it being 80 cents per mile one way, or divided by 2, making it 40 cents a mile for the round trip. Because I know the area of where I would be at least coming from, maybe not necessarily where I was going to, but just knowing that alone, honestly, if they would have had it at $10, I probably still would have turned it down. And I'm one that I will say, okay, if it's over $3.50, $4, I'll think about it a minute. $5, I'll probably go ahead and take it. Again, depending on the miles and where it's going to. But let me show you a few more little things here. Okay, so when I got the notification, this is where I'm at a traffic light, big red dot. So it appears, at least on this map, that I wasn't that far away from the Wingstop. But let's take a look at the overall picture. Now, mind you, yes, this is down on the Gulf Coast. That is the Gulf of Mexico at the bottom. And if you see that little area that's gray, it says Naval Air Station Museum. You're going to be seeing some of that Navy signs as I show you this little route real quick. But let's go to a better up-close look at what we'd be looking at and at what time of the day. Now, if you'll notice on the screenshot from DoorDash in the upper left hand where the yellow square is, it says 5:39 in the evening. And on the right hand side where the map is, I was at the end of that red line where it says traffic was backed up. Now, I measured it on Google Maps, and that was approximately 604.5 feet of backed up traffic. That's just to start with, to even get to Wingstop. And mind you, this particular Wingstop, for whatever reason, they pick and choose who they're going to wait on in whatever order. I seem to be invisible to them. It don't matter if I come in the daytime, nighttime. It don't matter. It don't matter. I can act a fool, I can act polite. It don't matter. It just is what it is. So we're adding all that. That was by trial and error that I learned that. Now, the little orange dot that's right here closer to the intersection, that happens to be Church's Chicken. Now, that's going to come into play on an order that I did take. But for now, just see that. And you know, that's a lot of traffic. So let's move on. Now, real quick, so I can take down this DoorDash screenshot. You see that it's 5:39. And you also see underneath the 9 miles, it says deliver by 6:05. So that's giving me 25 minutes to get to the Wingstop, do a little dance, and hope that they notice me, depending on how busy they are as well, because it is dinner time, and get it out the other direction. Now, 9 miles may not sound like much to you, but we are dealing with 5, 6 o'clock traffic. So let me get that screenshot out of the way now. So we're going to pretend like I did go take that order over at Wingstops, and I'm coming back. Now, from the red dot down at the bottom right-hand corner, is that intersection. I would have to go back up this road. Now, just from that red dot to the red dot at the top of the left-hand corner is right at a half a mile. But along that way of just that first half mile on that road, these will be some of the things that I will encounter. A school crossing sign, drop down to 20 miles an hour, and there's a flashing light and a little radar camera. And then a little bit further down, it'll remind you that you're sharing the road with bicycles, along with a sign that's behind the bushes that says speeding fines double. Then finally, down there by that other red dot will be a sign behind the bushes that says, now you can go 40 miles an hour, a whole 40 miles an hour. Now, mind you, I guarantee you at this time it would be probably close to 6 o'clock. That's just my estimate from my experience with that wing stop. And I hate to say it, but a lot of times, whether you're familiar with the restaurant or not, there's going to be trips that you take or offers that you take that you're just going to have to find out by trial and error which ones are good and which ones aren't, and which ones are good during the day or at night, vice versa. Okay, now let me remind you, at this point, you're only this far in. Okay? So, that's the one traffic light you've dealt with. I'm trying to keep it curved here. You got daycare school zones. Get a little bit further. You got a high school coming up on the left somewhere here. And the traffic light, I believe, is right here. Yes, there's a traffic light right there. Patricia, there's a traffic light. We've already passed the high school at this point. There's a traffic light, gas station. I don't know what that dot's for there, but okay. And every time you make one of these curves, you got to slow down. They lower down to 35, 30, whatever. Turn again. Then you have this traffic light here. Go off this way. Then there'll be a curve coming up. I know that. Okay, right here, this is a very, very busy intersection. It don't matter what time of the day or night. It don't matter. And let me remind you now, because this is getting on between 5:30 and 6 o'clock. And there are no street lights. So coming back, it's going to be jet black. Okay? Also, notice the street signs, because that determines a lot of this traffic as well. Like I said, no street lights, but we're going to be turning this way, if I would have taken the order. Which what makes this like what? Halfway now. Still got to go out this way, curve all the way around this way. Big old slow down to 25 mile an hour curve. Still looking at the 5 to 6 o'clock traffic though, mind you. And again, it's nothing but pine trees all the way up and down this road. Okay? And that's just to get out. There's another big mess of traffic right here at Dog Track Road to get to some apartments, which we don't know, is it upstairs, downstairs, what it is. Okay? Now, we got to go all the way back. So, the whole idea of it taking 15, 17 minutes is nonsense, especially at that time of day. So yes, I declined that offer. Now, hopefully, something I said will help you out, especially if you've never been experienced doing any of this. Take my issues and put them in relation to whatever issues you think that you might end up having in your area. You might have long strips of no gas station, or you might have just bumper to bumper. You might be in the city metro area where you got to have intersections of highways and all that. Keep all that in mind. Now, I'm going to do a video because the last 2 days have been really iffy. Yesterday, night before last, I made a whole $13 and some change after being out there for 2 hours. I said I gave up. So those are more the videos that I want to show you, so that way you don't feel bad about declining. Because DoorDash, hey, they got to be worth it, or else we still wouldn't all be here. But I want to be able to help you not totally give up. So make you aware that, hey, you're not the only one that runs into some bad spots, but this is how maybe you can work through them and learn from it and get on to the next day. Hope this helps. Thank y'all. You have a good one.